Kerr. Pleasure to follow the chairman of the Select Committee that I have the privilege to serve on, and would concur with everything she has said. I wish there was more time for this debate, because I'd like to celebrate the fact that this issue has engaged the imaginations of the young people of this country. And I'd especially like to thank Sir David Attenborough for an extraordinary work he has done in raising public consciousness of this matter. I am a grandfather, and I want my grandchildren to have a future in a cleaner and more sustainable world of wonder. And in order for that to happen, for that to be a real prospect, we need to act now. And to bring this into stark contrast, reference was made to the speech given nearly 30 years ago by Margaret Thatcher at the United Nations, the only Prime Minister, I believe, who has actually been a scientist before assuming office. And she said in that speech, "It is life itself, human life, the innumerable species of our planet that we wantonly destroy. It is life itself that we must battle to preserve. We must never lose sight of the nub of this issue." And so I am fully supportive of the government's ambition to achieve a net zero target CO2 output by 2050, a target which will set a benchmark for the whole world to follow. If I may also say, Madam Deputy Speaker, that while I applaud the objective, a goal is only a wish if we don't have a fully detailed plan to complete with milestones. And we need to fully communicate the implications of the details of that plan in relation to our current way of life, because we will all need to change certain aspects of our daily lives and adjust the expectations that we have largely that we've largely assumed in our lives. And we owe it to the people of this country to have a frank and full discussion with them as to the implications of what we are doing in this House this afternoon. It will require the very strongest signals from government and from this Parliament and for this target to be realised. And it must be agreed on a cross-party basis. Now, if I may just say something about electric vehicles, because transport, energy-intensive industries, housing and agriculture are all going to need to be brought very firmly under the microscope. But let me talk about transport. Now, I know the Minister may not be replying to what we are saying here, but I would like to raise for the record, my right honourable friend, the member for South Holland and the Deepings, offered some really interesting ideas when he was Minister of State for Transport in relation to electric vehicles and charging points. We need more charging points up and down this country. They need to be visible, recognisable and user-friendly. If we want driver confidence to increase in making the move to EVs, we must make a dramatic extension of the existing network of charging points. It is currently under-deployed. My right honourable friend, who was then the Minister of State for Transport, said that we would have a national design competition to create something recognisable and something pleasing to the eye. And I would like to ask the government where we are with this idea. Yes, I give way.
I'm very glad for giving way. He's touched on a point that I'm particularly passionate about, which is charging points. Does he agree that we perhaps ought to be looking at the planning system, particularly with regards to town centres?
I totally agree with that. We need to be upgrading our planning in relation to that, and also, by the way, in fibre-to-premise broadband. We need these charging points to be user-friendly in terms of their interface. Why is there not already an app that shows you where these charging points are, if they are working, and how much they will charge, how much they will cost? And why are there so many different and mutually exclusive ways of paying for the use of a charging point? And why are we not acting from this place to hasten the day when there will be standard connection leads and plug-ins? And what are we doing in government to bring this momentum about? Now, can I also say, I really shouldn't, I apologise, I wish we had more time. The Base Select Committee did indeed recommend that we should bring forward our aim of stopping the sale of new diesel and petrol cars from 2040 to 2032, and this would be the prudent thing to do. We have seen the effect of mixed messaging from government on diesel engine producers. There really can't be mixed messages on the subject of the move to EVs. And the government must give the industry very clear signals that will upgrade investment plans. Are we satisfied with that the road to zero is clear enough or ambitious enough? I'm not sure we should be satisfied. Are we satisfied that the government is really joined up? Government does it tend to work in silos? Is BEIS and Transport and Treasury, are they all aligned in relation to this matter of public policy? And I would look forward to hearing, maybe not today, but at some point, some assurances from ministers that this really is a joined-up process. Madam Deputy Speaker, I have already spoken over time, but let me just say that I endorse everything that was said in this debate on the subject of carbon capture, utilisation and storage. The government needs to make an early move so that we can be on the front foot in not only achieving our own targets, but in exporting our technological know-how to the rest of the world so that we can truly take a lead on this matter.
Well,